Hi Calc 1 and welcome to your first day of class. So if you're watching this, you are online and we will be doing fine. Just so you're aware, this is an applied calculus, so it does not count as Calc 1 at your colleges. It counts as a business calc. It's 5 credit hours. You will getting resource or credit from WIT that will transfer over when you pass this course. Now, as you're going through, you'll be doing discussion posts online and accountability checks online. Those are to be done, and that's how I also take attendance, so make sure you are doing something every day. Your accountability checks will not show up until the day they are due, so be careful of that. Don't look at your sidebar and decide there's nothing due that week. That will not be the case. Also, your accountability checks can be taken with your homework in front of you and a calculator. Your test should be taken with just you and a calculator, nothing else, and you are on an honor system. So I am trusting you, and please do well and don't disappoint me. Okay, we are on Chapter 1, Review 1. Your notes should be in front of you, and let's get moving. Okay, today's objectives, we're going to review the properties of real numbers. We are going to add and subtract polynomials, and we are going to multiply polynomials. So when you're going through, just 3 of the properties you should remember, and we're not going to do full definitions, just a general one. Commutative means the things can move. Okay, I have a new program. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's supposed to say move. We'll keep going. Okay, an example of this would be 5 plus 2 could also be written as 2 plus 5. Remember, you can do this with multiplication. You cannot do it with subtraction and division, and it does work with that with variables. Associative means that is dealing with grouping. So now when we are grouping things, this is with your parentheses. So let's just do numbers again. 3, and we'll do multiplication this time just for fun. 5 times 2 could also be grouped as 3 times 5 times 2. Remember, you should do what's inside the parentheses first, and you should get the same answer. And then with multiplication and addition. Distributive means you multiply through parentheses. So you're multiplying through parentheses. And I'm going to do the variable this time just for something different. So we can do, let's say 4 times x plus 2. The distributive law means we distribute this through. Always remember to watch your signs, which gives you that 4x plus 8. All of that should be very, very old. All right, so now let's continue on. Explore means I would like you to stop and pause the video and do the following problem. Our problems actually. And let's see how you do. Okay, pause, do them, and then start the video over. Okay. So your first step here is you should have distributed it. Now, when you're doing this, I'm hoping that you did this correctly, and you got 3x squared minus your 12x minus your 15. I'm sure you all did that fine. I'm hoping everybody remembered that negative 4. So you took a negative 4 times the 3x squared and got a negative 12x squared. You took a negative 4 times a negative 5x and you got a positive 20x. And then you took the negative times the negative and you also got a positive 28. All right, when you were finished with this, you should have combined like terms. So you should have taken the 3x squared minus the 12x squared and got a negative 9x squared. You should combine a negative 12x and a positive 20x, getting a positive 8x. And then you should combine your negative 15 and your positive 28, getting a positive 13 for your final answer. Okay, the same thing is done here. But now if you were to recognize this here, you did 2 things times each other, right? This is basically the same thing, except you have parentheses where you're taking the 4x times everybody, and then your negative 3. So your 4x times your 2x squared, you should have gotten in 8x cubed. I'm not going to draw the rest because I think you know. Plus a 28x squared minus a 4x. That's what you got when you took the 4x through. Now you should be taking a negative 3 through. Let's change colors so we don't get confused. So now when you take the negative 3 through, you're distributing again. So you have your negative 6x squared your negative 21x. If you notice, I'm lining up my like terms as I'm going just to make my life a little easier, plus your 3. And now your last step is you combine your like terms, and since they're already grouped together, it makes life a little simpler. So now you've got in 8x cubed plus a 22x squared minus a 25x plus 3. I hope you did well. Okay, the last one was just kind of to see if you remembered how to think about these things. So remember 3x minus 5 cubed really means you have 3 of these. So you have, let's move this up just a little bit so we have a little more room here. So you have 3x minus 5 really times 3x minus 5 and then another 3x minus 5. You have 3 of them. I'm hoping you remember how to square something without doing all the work. So I'm hoping you remember that this is really the first term squared. I'm going to write it over here, which is 9x squared. You multiply and double for your middle term, which is minus 30x, and you multiply your last term, which gave you a plus 25. So that's how you square a perfect square. If you did it the long way and you actually multiplied that out, that's fine. It just takes you a little bit longer. Hey, it's 3x minus 5. That's what you have in front. Now you're distributing the 3x through all 3 terms. And then you'll distribute the negative 5 through all 3 terms. Now, if you did those negatives wrong, pause this and try it again so you get it right, and then check your answer. So you should have had 27x cubed for your first one minus 90x squared plus 75x for your 3x. Your negative 5 should have been, let's go down here. Hopefully we don't run out of room here. Negative 45x squared plus 150x minus 125. You've done all your work, so now all you have to do is combine your like terms. That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm going to go on the next page. Hopefully you had enough room here, which gave you 27x cubed minus 135x squared plus, 225x minus 125. Okay, that concludes our first lesson. I expect you to go now to your book. You're on page R5. This is the homework problems I would like you to do. If you have questions on them, please post them on the discussion board and answer somebody else's questions when you have time. Also, this is the homework that you can use when you take your accountability check. Have a great day and well done.